Hey guys, it's about 4 o'clock in the morning and I just feel like I have something that I needed to share. I would have went live, but obviously probably nobody's awake. So I made this little video and I hope you enjoy it. Recently I was asked by a friend who had a friend that's writing a paper on abortion for a college class, if I would answer some questions. She wanted somebody who was pro-life and somebody who was pro-abortion for her paper. And she chose me, and I just wanted to share some of those questions and answers with you. Forgive me if I get a little emotional. It tends to happen. So let's get started. The first one she asked was, how did I get started in the pro-life movement? Growing up, I pretty much knew abortion was wrong in my heart. I felt it was wrong, but I actually didn't get started in the actual pro-life movement until my early 20s. I came back from Arizona and I was bartending at a local restaurant, and this girl came up to me who was from out of town, and she asked me if she could talk to me later. So I gave her my number, and she ended up calling that night and coming over. And basically, she told me she was going to have an abortion. She was pregnant from a guy back home, and she just didn't know what to do. Me being me, in a usual crisis, what I did was I called my uncle and my cousin, and I cried a lot. A lot. They came over, we told her the different options she has, the different places she could get help. Abortion wasn't one of the things we talked about. You know, we just told her how great it was to be a parent, and you know, everything's a struggle and you're never really ready for anything in life. But having a child is not one that you'll ever regret. It's not a choice you'll ever regret, an option you'll ever regret. The second question was, how does abortion affect my personal life? It doesn't usually affect my personal life daily, you know. In a negative way, I've had people who know I'm pro-life, they know my stance I take on it, and they want to argue me. Or I've had just random people contact me, you know, and tell me I'm judgmental, and that's the negative aspect. On a positive aspect, you know, I've had strangers come to me and say, hey, you know, this girl I know is going to have an abortion. Can you help her? I've made a lot of great friends. You know, I share a passion with one of my favorite cousins that brings us closer together in an amazing way. You know, I've met amazing people. I've done amazing things, and hopefully saved a lot of babies. So let's get to the next one. Have I ever considered an abortion? So growing up in my life and in my family, you know, my family's pretty Catholic, for the most part. When you're pregnant in my family, nobody ever talks about your options, your choices. It's basically, congratulations, you're having a baby. And thankfully that baby's welcomed into the family with nothing but love. So no, I can't say that I've ever considered an abortion. The next question, do you know anyone who has had an abortion, and how did they feel after? This one hits my heart, and it hits my heart hard. You know, I've had a few friends who've had abortions. I've sat there and I've watched them cry, you know, talking about how old their baby would be, or how they regret it, or what their baby would look like, you know. And these are close friends. And then I've had other people who know me who've come up to me and crying, and who knew I was pro-life, and they told me they didn't regret their abortion. But if they didn't regret their abortion, you know, why the tears? It's something I don't really understand. You know, I hope they found peace in their heart. But for the most part, you know, helping with the pro-life movement, I've met tons and tons of women and men who've all regretted their abortion. All of them. The next question, my best pro-life story. So this one hits home again. My best pro-life story, I had a friend who had had an abortion, and then she had a few children and was considering another abortion. So I just got crazy. I did everything possible, you know. I called her, I followed her to her work. I parked behind her car so she couldn't leave. I went to her house. I called her boyfriend. I called the kid's father. I basically stalked her for a while until, you know, I knew she wasn't going to have an abortion any longer. And I didn't have to make her mind up for her. She knew what was right in her heart. I was just helping remind her, you know, and afterwards, she didn't talk to me the rest of her pregnancy, but I did get a text message, and it said, and this is after the baby was born, the text message said, I don't know if I would have gone through with it or not, but for what it's worth, I want to thank you. I love my son. You know, when that's why I'm pro-life. I've never seen anybody ever hold their child and say, I regret having this kid. I shouldn't have had an abortion with them. I've never seen that, you know? Nobody regrets having their child, but they regret killing it. And that's probably one of my best pro-life stories. You know, all of them that end in a thank you, and a child, even without a thank you, it always makes it worth it. My worst pro-life story. The worst pro-life story I probably have is, I don't know if many of you know this, but Albuquerque, New Mexico is actually the late-term abortion capital in our nation. Meaning you can be ready to deliver a baby at 40 weeks and they'll kill that child for you. They also do live birth abortions, and that's where they make the woman dilate. They stick tongs in and start pulling out the baby, and as long as the baby's 50% inside the mother, they stick scissors near the back of its head, and they cut its spine or they jab them into the brain to kill the child. And that's at 40 weeks. So they were trying to pass a law to ban late-term abortions in Albuquerque. And me and my cousin and a group of Students for Life went up there to make people aware of what was going on, because only the Albuquerque residents could vote in this. We went to the college, and it was something I'll never forget. There were people there who were pro-choice, pro-abortion, with megaphones, and they were screaming, abortion doctors are our heroes, and we'd kill your babies too if we could. I never seen such hate and evil and just, it was terrible. I don't know how else to explain it. I mean, I was shaking. I couldn't understand how somebody could feel so passionate about killing an innocent child who never even asked to be conceived. It was really bad. And let's get to the next one. Do I think it's okay in rape? That one's a tough one, and my answer is still no. I don't believe it's okay in rape. And many people use that as an excuse or an argument. Little do they know that less than 1% of abortions are from rape victims. Less than 1%. And regardless, the child's still innocent. It's still an innocent life. It's still an innocent human being. Like, God knew us all. He made us all. He knows every hair on our head. He put that child here for a reason. Who are we to say, take it away? And yes, I feel horrible for the mother. I do. But killing your child isn't going to stop the pain of being raped. It's not going to stop the hurt of what happened to you. It's just going to create a new wound. The next one is it okay for children with mental illnesses? No. A lot of people don't want to deal with a special needs child or a child with Down syndrome because they have a disability. When in the end, there's so much we can learn from them. If you ever look at a child that has Down syndrome, have you ever talked to one? Like, they are eternal innocence. They're pure love. They hate nobody. They're happy. And yeah, you have to learn different things with them, but you have to learn different things with every child. You don't know if your child who doesn't have special needs is going to grow up with an addiction, is going to need counseling. Every child's different. But these children, these Down syndrome, these special needs, they don't have a disability. There's just so much we can learn from them. They don't hate anybody. They don't know they're different. They don't try to fit in. And I honestly think we could really learn a lot from them. How do I feel about women who have had an abortion? So, this is hard to explain. I don't know how else to say it, but my heart hurts for them. Thankfully, when I was pregnant at the age of 18 with my son, I had a family, I had a mother. The guy wasn't really in the picture, but I had people there for me, and I can't imagine what it feels like to be alone. And my heart seriously hurts for you, Do I think you're going to hell? No. I think God forgives. I think Jesus forgives. And I think that baby forgives you. Just ask for forgiveness. Like, God didn't give his only son to die in vain. He died for our sins. All you have to do is ask for forgiveness. And I think that I pray that nobody else ever has to feel that again. I wish people would step up. I wish people would care more. I wish people would just say, hey, you're pregnant. You're going to have a beautiful baby. And not everybody's blessed with that. So let's go to the next question. Sorry, I told you I get super emotional. What is the one thing I wish that others knew about the pro-life movement? This one's fun. So I wish that you knew how the media portrays us is nothing like that. We don't stand outside of abortion clinics calling women whores and murderers. Never in my life have I ever heard that. When a woman approaches Planned Parenthood, I simply start with good morning. Whether she replies or not, I say I'm here if you need to talk. It's ridiculous. We do believe it's murder. We hate the sin. We hate the act of abortion. Do we hate the people? No, we don't. Matter of fact, 90% of the people standing outside of the clinic who aren't even speaking to you are praying for you. They're praying for each and every one of us. They're praying for us as a nation. They're praying to end abortion. They're praying for your baby. They're praying, that you have the strength. They're praying that some light goes off in your head and you turn around and walk away and run as far as you can from the slaughterhouse. That's what we're praying. That's what we do. And that's what we talk about. Even when they walk out, I'm not like, I can't believe you killed your baby. I simply say, I'm still here if you need to talk. I'm still here. And I think that's really important that people know that. The next question, what do I think will end abortion, and will it ever end? I honestly believe the way to end abortion is by making people aware. People don't even know what's going on in their own backyards. Abortion is the elephant in the room that nobody talks about. Be aware. Learn what you can. Stand up when you can. And even when you feel like there's nothing you can do about it, a simple Facebook post stating, hey, I'm pro-life. If you need something, let me know. It affects millions. How many people really have seen a live birth abortion? How many people are a partial birth abortion? How many people knew that New Mexico was the late-term abortion clinic in the nation? Just come on, wake up. Wake up. If you don't do anything, you're a part of the problem. And that's the way we're going to end abortion. And yes, it's going to end. It will. One way or another. What's my biggest regret? My biggest regret is that I didn't get involved in the pro-life movement sooner. I know there's a time and a calling for all of us, and when we're supposed to do things, God has it all situated, but I kind of wish I would have jumped in at a younger age. I watch these students for life, and they're high school kids, they're college kids, and they're stepping up, they're taking a stand, they're saying, my generation will end abortion. And I just wish I would have been part of that when I was younger. So, my biggest reward, obviously, is seeing the babies. I love the babies, and I call them all my little angels. Meeting the mothers, having friends for life. These women, when they call on you in a desperate situation and they tell you their deepest, darkest secrets, that's your friend for life. And when you hold that child, it's like holding an angel. It's just like the most amazing, amazing, amazing feeling. Hey, you made it. I knew you were a fighter. I knew you were going to be here. And I'm so glad. That is definitely my biggest reward. All the babies I get to hold. And the last question, what would I tell someone pregnant who was considering an abortion? For the women, you're not alone. There's so many different places. There's so many people who want to help you. Here locally, we have Grace Place. We have Birthright. In Durango, we have Lifeguard. It's directly across from Planned Parenthood. There's people who are willing to help you with your finances, with anything you need, just to get you on your feet so you feel like you can have your child. There's counselors, there's ultrasounds, there's so many people who care. There's so many people who love you and your child. And I don't want you to feel alone, because you're not. For the men, stand up. Be a man. This is your child. Fight for your child. If you never fight for anything else in your life, fight for your child. Be a man. Love your child's mother. Even if things can't work out, say, hey, I'm here if you need me. I'm gonna go through this with you. It's really important. You know, call me. I'm here. I'll be your friend. And I know millions of other people who will too. That's basically it. I hope you guys enjoyed my video. Sorry it's so long, but with Roe vs. Wade coming up, you know, we got a new president. He's pro-life, and I think it's time that we all voice our opinion, take a stand, and make a difference. It's 2017, the year to end abortion. Have a good day.